Hello everybody, this is Force Weaver, your dear cleric. Welcome you all to the hidden logic behind the hashtag or pound sign, the @ symbol, the ampersand, and whatever that funky little S thing up here is by Rob Words. And I got him on a really unflattering beginning frame here. So without further ado, let's get this started.
This familiar symbol spells something. It may just
really?
look like a load of lines, but it is actually two letters. And I'm going to tell
Two
you
letters?
which ones.
That's
I'll also
that's a
explain
paragraph
where
symbol?
This,
So.
this, and this
Okay, yeah.
came from too.
No,
And these.
that third one is
Let's
the
explore
paragraph
the weird little symbols on your keyboard.
symbol
It's time
because it's like a
for another
revised
Rob
P or something.
So what do you call this? The pound sign, the hash, the number sign, the sharp,
The number sign.
octothorpe? Fancy. These are all
I think
legit
it is
names,
formerly
but they
called the
exist
octothorpe, isn't
for
it?
different, fascinating reasons involving axes, pianos, telephones, and the internet.
The
Hashtag
internet.
Obviously. But this
Obviously.
most social media-tastic of symbols has its origins in ancient Rome.
Oh, cool.
When the Romans weighed something like, I don't know, grapes, they always seem to be eating grapes, don't they? Anyway,
Well,
when they did
grapes,
so,
olives,
they weighed
I don't
them
know.
in ounces, or unciae, 12 of which made a
pound.
Roman pound.
Yeah, pound.
The word the Romans used for their pound
Libra, right?
was libra.
Yeah.
In fact,
Because that's
it's
why
the word
it's
that we use for
L.
our modern day measure, the pound too, when we abbreviate it to LB. That's LB for the Latin libra. We also nod to it when we write the symbol for the currency, the pound, as well. That is simply an ornate L.
With a line through it.
Libra, with a line through it. But you already knew that because you watched my video about currency symbols.
I did watch that
The
one on
line
my own,
through
yes.
the British pound symbol is there to show you that it is an abbreviation of a word, Libra, rather than just a letter L. And once the printing press came along, long after the Romans had marched off into the sunset,
Well,
it
that's a
became
very
common to
old
print
and style
a line
printing
through
press.
the LB representing the pound weight as well, to show that
Oh.
it was also an abbreviation.
That's fascinating.
Don't believe me? Well, look here. This is a text from the early 1700s.
I'm trying to
and
search for-
there
oh, there it is.
LB with a line through it. Here it is again, labelled as pound weight.
Interesting.
This is what it looked like printed, but we now need to look at how it was written by hand, because that's when this gets really interesting. Some scribes would write it out all neat and smooth, like this. Can you see the L and the B and the horizontal line, which has drifted above the L and B, I guess?
Well, it
for
went
elegance
through the
But
B
not
and the L
everyone
there. Yeah.
wrote it this neatly. One man, for example, a certain Isaac Newton,
Really,
reality fame,
Newton, huh?
scribbled it out like this. Now, can you see where this
Very
is
ornate,
going?
almost star-like. Yeah.
Because it is this scrawled attempt at the LB pound symbol
Yeah,
that
look
is
at
thought
that.
to be the origin of our hatched number sign.
I guess so.
This gets simplified further to two vertical lines and two horizontal lines, and
there it
there
is.
it is.
Yeah.
the hash. Or should I say the pound sign, because it is called the pound sign precisely because its origins are in our abbreviation for the Latin Libra Ponder.
I guess that makes sense when they
Pound
say a
of
pound
weight.
sign on like
LB.
when you're on the
Here's a
phone.
fun little fact for you. While on an American keyboard, the symbol above
Oh,
the 3
fancy.
is this pound.
Yeah.
On a British keyboard, the symbol
Three.
above the 3 is this pound.
Oh.
So they've both got a pound, just different ones. Although weirdly,
Fun.
my British MacBook keyboard somehow manages to have both.
Both.
The fact that we Brits use
Interesting.
both of these symbols quite a lot creates a problem. We can't call both of these things the pound sign, can we?
I guess so. Yeah.
We don't. We're actually more likely to
Budget
call
blown
this
by fancy keyboard animation. I guess
back in the
so.
days when people actually did things
He's
over the
got like
phone,
very fancy
we used to hear
editing
an
all
automated
throughout
voice
this.
say,
For assistance, please press hash.
hash is
Ah.
related to the word hatched. It's from the French
Hatched.
hacher, meaning to chop up into little pieces, as if
Like
with
hatchet.
an axe, or in French, une hache.
Oh, you can see the
Why?
ants on
The
that
symbol
log
looks
there.
like
That
it's
was
been diced
disgusting.
up into tiny little bits, 9 of them. As for the name
Oh,
number
9.
symbol, well,
Okay.
as this 1903 shorthand
Looks like
book
a
explains, that
like a
comes down
phone
to where
keypad.
you position it. Pop it before a number, and it means the word number.
Mm-hmm.
Pop it after one, and it means pounds. The major coup for the pound/hash/number sign in the 20th century was its inclusion on telephone keypads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there it
Bell
is.
Laboratories
Oh,
wanted
look
to
at that.
fill the unsightly gap either side of the 0.
Oh,
on their
really?
touch
That's
tone
why they were
telephone.
there?
So, on one side, they put the star,
Just so it looks
asterisk,
symmetrical?
more about him later. And on the other, they put our 4-lined friend. Although telecoms engineers decided that they wanted to give it a new name. They called it the Octothorpe.
Yeah, I've
The
never heard
octave
it
is
called.
simple. It has 8 points. But
Oh.
no one knows why they put Thorpe after it. One theory is
Maybe
that
it just
it's
sounded
because
cool.
cartographers used to mark out villages on maps with this symbol, a village is a thorpe.
Okay.
Another is that it was a tribute to the first Native American to win Olympic gold for the United States, Jim Thorpe. And another
Really?
is that it's meaningless.
Oh.
It's a sort of joke. There's no real agreement on how to spell it either. Anyway, 20th century
I can
telephone
see that
fame turned
being a
into
joke.
21st century internet ubiquity when in 2007 Twitter's Chris Messina suggested using the pound symbol
Mm-hmm.
to create groups. And lo, the hashtag was born. It's
Okay,
called a
hash
hashtag
because
it is
it's
a tag marked
by a
with
hash.
The symbol
Yeah, okay.
is not called hashtag. I don't know why the people at Twitter didn't call it pound tag. Doesn't sound right though, does it?
No.
Oh, for the musically minded, I need to mention sharp,
Mm-hmm.
don't I? Now, oddly, the number symbol and the
It's-
musical sharp symbol
It's flipped.
are not the same sign.
Yeah, because it's
I know they look alike, but they came about completely independently.
Yeah, because with
Believe
the
it or
sharp
not,
sign,
the
the
sharp started
horizontal lines are lifted
as
upwards.
a B.
A B.
It's true. In early musical notation,
guess so.
a
Makes
B
sense.
flat, so one semitone below a B,
My native language is coming.
was marked
A
with
fence
what was
gate?
called a
Oh,
B
that's-
or
yeah, I guess that makes
round
sense.
B, which is just a fancy name for our lowercase b. That's why the
It does
flat
look
symbol
rather
still
fence-like
looks
on
like
by itself.
a lowercase b. Meanwhile, a normal B note, to differentiate it from the flat, was marked with a different alternative shaped B called the B quadratum. or
Quadratum.
Square B, which is this Gothic boxy looking B.
Looks
This became
looks
the
like you
natural
put that on
symbol
like a
that musicians
like a
will
metal
recognise.
like a
Then
metal
later,
bands.
when composers started throwing in
like a
flat
t-shirt or
for notes
something.
other than B, they used the same notation, even though they weren't dealing with Bs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
However, they added a variant of the B quadratum to mark a semitone above the bass note. A sharp. That
Oh,
variant
interesting.
looks like this. Ta-da! On that note, I've had a marvelous time researching this video.
Let me guess, this
reading
is
through
ad
medieval
section, I guess.
manuscripts to find beautiful old versions of all of these symbols.
Yeah, look at
But
those.
that has meant having an awful lot of tabs open.
Opera?
Luckily, I found
I know.
organizing my research easy thanks to this video's sponsor.
I knew it, opera.
Opera has so many useful functions like tab islands, which I used to keep. all
I've
of
heard
my
like a lot of things about opera,
tabs
but I've never really
grouped
like
together,
looked
while
really
I was at
into it.
another
So
tab island
I'm sure
with
it's
all of
fine
my
by
online
itself.
reference
Like I know
sources in it. I could then
there's, like-
collapse those tab islands when I wasn't using them and
yeah,
give them
but
a
learning
unique
about like
name.
a lot of
Plus
like
the handy
lot of
tab traces let me see
history
which
on I
tab
guess the
I recently
hashtag
used,
pound sign
thanks to this
whatever.
underline, meaning I can
That's
quickly
really
get
cool.
back to the same document I was just
Honestly, since we're
referencing.
thinking,
The
yeah.
darker the line, the more
When you-
recently I looked at it. I've also found it really
You start
useful
to,
be
like-
able to split my screen between up to 4
You can start to
tabs at once,
sort of
because
like sense when they're
even
starting
though I
to get a
have
little bit
multiple
off track
websites
and try to
open,
like tangent off into their set.
Dictionary and Merriam-Webster,
Their sponsor section.
and then also take notes in Google Docs
Sorry?
at the same time. I simply drag the tab down and choose a layout. Oh, and I should definitely mention Opera's
What the heck was that
video
Sussy
tabs,
Baka
which works
tab
out even
there?
watching a video,
What the
and then
hell?
Detaches it into its own window that can be moved around even outside of the browser. This is really useful, particularly for me when I want to keep up with, say, a podcast while I'm also doing my work.
You can download Opera Browser absolutely for free. I will put a special link for you to use in the description of this video. Go
All right,
down there,
we're
click
starting
on
to
it,
get back now.
and give Opera Browser a go. Right then, we've discovered that the pound sign is probably ultimately just the letters L and B.
Yeah.
So, what about this one?
The ampersand?
The and symbol or
Yeah.
ampersand does not look like a word, but
No,
it is one. In fact, it is a full one.
Mm.
It is the Latin word for and,
etc.
et.
Oh,
The Romans themselves used this. How do we know? Because we have this, the earliest known
Oh, what
example
the
of
hey?
it, graffitied
Looks
onto
like
a
a-
wall in
like
the
a table of some
doomed
sort.
Roman city of Pompeii. Can you see how it's a very crude E and a T?
I
I'd have
guess.
loved to have shown you an actual photo of the graffiti itself, but it doesn't seem like anyone has one. Instead, I'm relying on the research of a fella named Jan Schichold, who wrote the definitive history of the ampersand, aber auf Deutsch. And
But in German.
he includes it as the first example on a page showing the development
Whoa, look at that.
of the and symbol over the centuries.
See,
From this, you can really see.
you
can't
can see
how
it made the
morphed
ampersand
into
sign, but
the
then
and sign
it
that
drifted
we
away,
know
then
today.
came back.
Some modern fonts actually make its ET origins
No,
clearer
ET
than
on the
others.
shoulder.
As for the name ampersand, well, that's thought to hark back to a time when the and symbol was included as a sort of semi-official final letter of the alphabet,
Final
like
letter?
it is in this adorable 19th century book teaching American kiddies how to spell. When reciting this,
Oh,
version
there's
of
the ampersand
alphabet,
after
it
the
was
Z.
apparently typical to end with
That is
Z,
so.
Z, and
Mm-hmm.
per se, and per se being
Oh,
yet more
Z
Latin
per
this time
se.
for in itself. And from and, per se, and, we get ampersand.
Mm-hmm.
So weirdly, the word ampersand has the word and in it twice, which is not great going for what's supposed to be an abbreviation. The
Yeah.
first one turned into an am in the
Well, it's
same
more
way
like
as it
sand.
sometimes does in the word sandwich. Have you ever noticed that some people pronounce it sandwich?
Yeah, I
Seriously,
guess so.
listen out
Sandwich.
for it.
Because
And
when you're
that's it
speaking
for
fast,
ham.
I like
Now
say
we're at
a ham sandwich.
that at. The Dutch call it the monkey's tail.
Whoa,
the
what the-
Italians, the snail. But to us, it is just the at symbol.
Mm-hmm,
Why is it called at? Well, long before it was cropping up in social media handles and email addresses, that was the word that it stood in for. It was used in
at?
accounting and on sales signs or
Oh,
receipts
okay, makes
to
sense.
show how
Sales
much something
stuff
was
and
priced
ledgers.
at.
Oh, No.
This is 2 avocados for $10. That's not very good. And
Hmm.
this is 2 avocados at $10.
$10.
That's
Okay.
even worse. One is $10 for 2 avocados. The other is 2 avocados at a price of $10 each.
Mm-hmm.
The at is crucial. But why are we using this particular sign for that? Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that starts in English.
The oldest recorded
Really?
appearance of the symbol is from 1345 on this Bulgarian translation of a Greek text. Here, though,
Bulgarian, huh?
it's just acting as the A at the start of Amen.
Amen.
So what about our modern usage?
The
That's
earliest known
interesting.
example of it is from 1536, almost half a millennium ago, on this letter by a Florentine merchant.
Whoa.
There are 2 of them highlighted here. He's talking about the price of wine.
Oh, price of wine.
So let's assume it doesn't actually say at, tempting as it is, given that we definitely have an A there, don't we? The first usages are in Romance languages, so languages derived from Latin. So, could it be derived from the Latin ad, which can also mean at? Could the swirl be the tale
To
of
be
some
confusing.
long-lost D?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, maybe, but
Long
it's a bit hard
D.
to prove, given that it doesn't look like a D at all, does it? A theory I like
Yeah,
more
it's a lot.
is that it's from the French for at, with scribes lazily choosing not to take their quills off the paper to add that accent. Instead,
Just
swooshing
swirling it all
over
around, huh?
and then back under again. The
Interesting.
origins are clearly a bit uncertain, and
Mm-hmm.
the at symbol might well have returned to obscurity had it not been for this guy, Ray Tomlinson, the
Ray
man who
Tomlinson?
sent the first email. Back in 1971,
Oh,
Ray was working for
I
a
saw
company
I
called
saw
BBN, who had
he
been hired
passed away in
by the US
2016.
Department of
Ooh.
Defense to develop
ARPANET. Yeah,
the precursor
ARPANET.
to
I
the
know of it.
internet. Now, Ray wanted to be able to send files between shared teletype machines,
Mm-hmm.
so realized that he needed a character to put between the name of the recipient and the name of the machine that the message was being received
hell?
on. He later told
Is it
Smithsonian
then people
magazine
inevitably
he
got
was
lazy and
looking for a
sloppy?
symbol that wasn't
Yeah, but it
used
makes
much.
sense.
He considered an exclamation point, a comma, or an equal sign, but he said
Equal.
that wouldn't have made much sense. So
I guess
he
so.
went with at, which did make sense because it was someone at a specific machine. And so he sent that very first email. He says it said something like QWERTY UEOP, dragging his
Oh,
finger
QWERTY
along the
UEOP.
top row of
It
the
was just
keyboard. And
his
he
first
sent
email
it
was a bunch of
to
key
himself,
smashes, or at least a
from one
key
teletype
swipe.
machine in the room he was in to another. 20 years later, we were sending emails from space.
By the
Yeah.
way, the at symbol has another lesser known name, aspirand. But I
Aspirand.
can't find out anything about it. It doesn't even appear to be in dictionaries. So
Huh.
if you do know
Ampersand,
more,
aspirate.
leave a comment.
And while we're below the line, let me just tell you that that is where you can find a link to buy tickets
Oh.
for my 10-night run at this year's Edinburgh Fringe. I am
Edinburgh Fringe.
ridiculously excited about this. I can't believe it's even happening. I'm going to be
Good
there
stand-up thing, I
from
think,
the
right?
6th to the 16th of August 2026.
Oh,
Come join
wow.
me for an hour of revolutionising the English language. I'll leave a link in the description.
That's
Moving
cool.
on. Have you ever noticed this little fella on your keyboard?
No, actually, I
It's
don't.
most commonly called the
not on
section sign. Why? Because it's used to mark out sections on things like legal documents. You know it well if you've
Oh,
ever
that's where it
taken
was
out a
from.
mortgage or been sued. I think it's
Sued.
quite a cool design. Do
Yeah.
you know what it is? It's two S's
Well,
standing
yeah.
for signum sectionis, which is just
Okay.
Latin for section sign. So you might as well
Section sign.
say that it stands for section sign.
Section
Although
sign, hey?
This
Okay.
character does have another name in English. It's called the Silkrow.
Silk Row.
But to understand why, we first need to meet its mate, the Pilcrow.
Pilcrow,
We don't
Pilcrow.
meet
So this is the
Pilcrow
paragraph
so
sign.
much anymore, but in the olden days, when you typed up a document on a computer, these things would pop up everywhere.
Like
They probably
paragraph
still
or
do
line
if you work in
break.
Publishing. Again, this symbol is a letter. Can you guess which one?
The PT.
Go on.
It's thinking a timeometer.
That's enough time. If you thought it was
Oh, was the name? It was a
a
QT.
Q,
No,
you were wrong.
it's a PT.
If you
right?
thought it was a P, though, you were also wrong.
Oh, no.
Two perfectly reasonable guesses, but both incorrect. What the Pilcrow originally started out as was a C.
Oh,
The modern Pilcrow
a C?
is descended from
Really?
this symbol, found all over
What
medieval
in the hey?
manuscripts. Here they are in red and blue. Can you see the resemblance?
I
Well, these
guess.
were
Yeah.
used to mark out points in the text where there was some sort of change, a change
Mm-hmm.
of topic or a change of speaker, for example. And this symbol, which is
It's
just a
just-
C with a vertical line down it,
Mm-hmm.
stood for the Latin capitulum. Capitulum literally
Capitulate.
means little head, but it is also
Little
the
head?
source of our word chapter. Now,
Fancy
because
C.
this symbol was written
Yeah,
beside the
we use for-
text,
that's
it
the
was
C we
known
use for
as
complex
a
numbers? Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
paragraphos, which is Greek for beside the text. And from there, of course,
Paragraph.
we get our word paragraph. And even to this day, we change subject or speaker at a new paragraph, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
But paragraphos doesn't just give us the word paragraph. It also gives us the word pilcrow. Now, this is a bit mad, but
Okay.
watch how the word changes as it moves from Greek to Latin,
Paragraphos.
Old
Graphos.
French, to
Graph.
Anglo-Norman French,
Oh,
to Middle
pelagraph.
English,
Pelagraph.
and to modern English.
Okay.
Voila. Pilcrow. But
Interesting.
paragraphs and pilcrows are not the only legacy of
Eng-
the beautiful old
English is such
capitulum
a interesting
symbol.
sort of evolution.
These characters were written by
what the?
a different hand and in different ink to the
This
rest
is like
of the text.
like a very
Someone else
old like
added them
anatomy.
later. So when the
like
printing
diagram.
press came around, printers would leave gaps for these handwritten characters to be added in. Unfortunately, the rubricators, as the people who wrote these characters were called,
Rubricators.
couldn't keep up with these newfangled machines. So
Mm-hmm.
these inky finishing flourishes were often left off, leaving just a gap. And it
Oh,
is
no.
because of these gaps that we still indent the start of a paragraph.
Oh,
And
interesting.
footnote, Silkrow is just a play on the word pilcrow. It is pilcrow with an S.
With an S.
Hashtag, obviously, again. While we're down here in the footnotes, let's talk about this, the traditional
asterisk?
marker of
Yeah.
a footnote, the asterisk. An asterisk is a little star, both in image and in name.
Mm-hmm. Aster,
Asterisk
yeah.
comes from the Greek asteriskos, meaning
Mm-hmm.
little star. We know for a fact that this little symbol has been used to mark up text for more than 2 millennia, but it
Determining
hasn't
notes,
always
yeah.
indicated a footnote. Sometimes it used to be used to mark out bits of a text that the reader disagreed with or doubted.
Oh,
Critical
Really?
mark rather than a mark added at the start to help clarify the text. And the
Like, but for
asterisk
whom?
Also had a counterpart, a partner in crime, one that fans of French comic books will
Oh.
probably be able to guess.
I
As
know
well
those
as the
guys.
asterisk, we have the obelisk.
an obelisk?
Asterix and Obelix are named after them. The obelisk,
Interesting.
also known as the obelus, took on a range of shapes. You can see them here. One of them
It's
we
just a line.
repurposed
Huh?
for our
Wait,
division symbol. But there was also another
Really?
shape that it sometimes took on and that
fascinating.
it still takes on today. This, also more commonly known
What's that?
as the dagger.
Yeah, it does look like
I
a
actually come across
sword.
this most often in the Oxford English
Brangle.
Dictionary, which uses it to show you that a word is obsolete, no
Oh,
longer
okay.
used, dead. It's like a little gravestone, or as if the word has been stabbed to death.
Kind of morbid.
By the way,
Kind
we
of
should
morbid.
bring back the word brangle. However, you also see it as a footnote marker if an asterisk has been used elsewhere on the same page. There's actually a
Okay.
hierarchy of footnote symbols. Did you know this?
Really?
It can vary, but it's usually along the lines of asterisk dagger, double dagger silkrow, double vertical lines, pilcrow.
This is getting,
Nicely
yeah,
bring
this is a little
together
weird.
A load of the symbols we've already looked at.
Mm-hmm.
But before we finish, I still have to tell you about my favourite. It's
Which
this,
is it?
the manicule. Manicule is
That's
Latin
just
for
wingdings,
little
isn't it?
hand, because that's what it is. You won't see it all that often these days, but you will find it in old manuscripts, literally pointing out.
Oh, I can see in the
important
top
passages.
left.
And I don't know why, but I find it endlessly hilarious.
It is.
Look how long this finger is, and this one. And what on earth's going on here?
Yeah, what is
And
going
this
on
one
there?
has a snake. I suppose the modern
What?
equivalent is arguably this, which you could perhaps use to click
Nah.
like and subscribe if you have
Damn,
enjoyed
I always thought it was
this
a cross.
video. Then drag your
Got a
little
little bit too
hand
cute and actually
over
started
to
cr-
this video here.
That's
And
funny.
I'll see you over there. Till next time, take care.
All right. So that was like a really interesting deep dive into various symbology. With the manicure, I said I thought that was just pointing out wingdings there, but no, yeah. Like, what exactly was that purpose? Just to like point out something in like ancient text? I guess like if people just didn't want to like put a marking and wanted to be a little bit more creative. Hands get me cackling. Yeah, it was like very funny. Hands are tough, man. Even when you are not, especially when you're not too well versed in the arts. Yes. Please comment down below if you learned anything about the various signs here, and what you found fascinating, and if you have any other tidbits about various symbols that we've used in like our day-to-day lives that we don't really think about. Yeah. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.